10 abandoned places in America that look frozen in time. What if you could walk through an American town where the buildings are still standing, but almost nobody lives there anymore? 10. Six Flags New Orleans, Louisiana. Once filled with roller coasters, families, and screaming crowds, Six Flags New Orleans became a ghostly reminder of Hurricane Katrina. The amusement park opened in 2000, but Hurricane Katrina devastated the area in 2005. The park never reopened. Today, its abandoned rides and buildings have been slowly taken over by nature, creating an eerie landscape that looks more like a post-apocalyptic movie than a theme park. 9. Rhyolite, Nevada. Rhyolite was once a booming gold mining town in the Nevada desert. After gold was discovered, thousands of people arrived hoping to become rich. Hotels, banks, stores, and saloons appeared almost overnight. But the mining boom didn't last. The mines declined, businesses closed, and residents disappeared. Today, the remaining ruins stand surrounded by the Nevada desert, a reminder of how quickly a wealthy town can become a ghost town. 8. Kennecott, Alaska. Deep inside Alaska's mountains is the abandoned mining settlement of Kennecott. The town was built around an incredibly rich copper deposit. At its peak, it had homes, a hospital, school, store, and other facilities for workers. But when the copper deposits became uneconomical to mine, the operation closed in 1938. The workers left, and much of the town was left behind. Today, its historic buildings remain surrounded by spectacular mountains and glaciers. 7. Centralia, Pennsylvania. Centralia might be one of America's strangest abandoned towns. In 1962, an underground coal mine fire began beneath the community. The fire spread through underground coal seams and continued burning for decades. Smoke appeared through cracks in the ground, roads were damaged, and concerns about dangerous gases forced most residents to leave. Today, only a handful of people remain. Beneath the quiet streets, the underground fire is still burning. 6. Bodie, California. Bodie was once a wild California mining town. At its peak, thousands of people lived there. The town had hotels, banks, churches, schools, newspapers, and dozens of businesses. But when mining declined, people slowly left. Fires destroyed parts of the town, and eventually Bodie became almost completely deserted. Today, more than 100 historic buildings remain. What's fascinating is that many interiors were preserved almost exactly as they were left. It's like walking through a photograph of the Old West. 5. Bannack, Montana. Bannack became famous after gold was discovered in Montana in the 1860s. Miners rushed into the area, and a busy frontier town quickly developed. There were saloons, hotels, stores, and homes. But when mining declined, so did Bannack. The population disappeared, leaving behind an almost perfectly preserved ghost town. Today, Bannack is one of Montana's most fascinating historic sites. 4. Glen Rio, Texas, New Mexico. Imagine driving along the legendary Route 66 and stopping at a town that has almost completely disappeared. That's Glen Rio. The community depended heavily on travelers using Route 66. Gas stations, restaurants, and motels served people crossing the country. But when interstate highways replaced Route 66 as the main route, traffic disappeared. So did Glen Rio's businesses. Today, abandoned roadside buildings remain as reminders of America's golden age of road travel. 3. Garnett, Montana. Garnett was another Montana mining town created by people searching for gold. At its height, several hundred people lived there. The town had stores, hotels, saloons, and homes. But as mining became less profitable, residents began leaving. Eventually, Garnett became almost completely deserted. Today, its wooden buildings sit quietly among the mountains, giving visitors a rare glimpse into life in an old American mining town. 2. Terlingua, Texas. Near Big Bend National Park sits the former mining community of Terlingua. The town grew around mercury mining, attracting workers to this remote part of West Texas. When the mining industry collapsed, many buildings were abandoned. But unlike some ghost towns, Terlingua isn't completely dead. A small community still exists today. Old ruins stand beside modern businesses, creating a strange combination of the Old West and modern Texas. 1. The forgotten mining town of Centralia. And finally, Centralia again, because its story is so unusual that it deserves special attention. Imagine living in a town where the ground beneath you is literally on fire. That's what happened after the underground mine fire began in 1962. The fire eventually made much of the town unsafe, and most residents were relocated. Entire neighborhoods disappeared. Today, Centralia is one of America's most famous examples of a community transformed by an underground disaster. From abandoned amusement parks, to forgotten mining towns, to communities destroyed by fire and changing highways, these places show us that even the busiest American towns can disappear. But their stories remain. Which abandoned place would you be brave enough to visit? Tell us in the comments. And if you enjoy strange places, hidden history, and fascinating American stories, subscribe for more.